Well, hello, Facebook community. Alejandro Tornato here, coming from Beaufort, Georgia. It's a beautiful day, and I would like to welcome you to another moment of the Transformational Mentoring Sunday edition. Quote of the week. A quote of the week. And today, I have a great quote, a juicy quote, and an interesting quote. You'll see it when I share that with you. So today's quote comes from Mr. Ruff, R-U-F-F, and it states the following. It says, "It wasn't raining when Noah built the ark." It wasn't raining when Noah built the ark. And when I first saw this quote, I said, how is that speaking to me? Right as I saw that quote, there was an immediate connection. And it took me a little bit of time to discover what that connection was. It wasn't raining when Noah built the ark. You know, I heard it so many times. The power of prayer. And it says that prayer is when you communicate with God, with universal intelligence, with infinite intelligence, with universal mind, whatever name you want to call. But prayer is when you begin communicating with God. Now, intuition is when God responds and communicates with you. So prayer is when you take the initiative to communicate with God. Intuition, and that gut feeling, that intuitive feeling that you have, is when God is communicating with you. Now, at the time of Noah, you see, God communicated. God communicated with Noah in a very subtle way, but the message was that I am tired of the world. I am tired that the world is not following me, is not obeying what I told them to do. They are going their own perverse ways, and I just had enough. And I am going to destroy the world. I am going to destroy the world. And Noah received that message, and God said, begin building an ark. And He gave Noah all the blueprint and the dimensions and everything that Noah needed to complete the task. So, I'm going to destroy the world, and I'm telling you, you better build this ark that I'm telling you if you don't want to suffer the same consequences. And then Noah, what he did is he did not question. He did not say, well, I think that this dimension is not good enough. The ark may not be big enough for what God is telling me to do, or for what God wants me to gather in the ark. No, there wasn't any question. When Noah received that intuitive message from God, he got started in building the ark. He started doing the task that he had been assigned. And when Noah began the task of building the ark, it wasn't raining. There wasn't a single drop of water that came from heaven during the process of building the ark. Now, this quote then resonated with me because it's a great indicator of the value of planning ahead. You see, planning ahead, you know that something is going to happen, and you don't wait until the last moment, or you don't wait until it actually happens before you start doing whatever you need to do. So it wasn't raining when Noah built the ark. It's a representation of planning ahead, and the inherent value of planning ahead of time. As I shared this quote, there are some other quotes that come to mind, and one is this by Confucius. And Confucius says, "A man who does not plan long ahead will find trouble at his door." You see, perhaps the earliest quote about planning comes from Confucius. This quote that I just shared with you. Now, this ancient Chinese philosopher, back in his day, warned us about the dangers of short-term, short-sighted thinking. Now, as this year 2020 is still relatively very, very new, we just started this new year, this new decade, just a few days ago. Are you planning ahead? And I'm not saying planning ahead for the next 50 years of your life, but are you planning ahead for the next, perhaps, month, or 3 months, or 6 months? Or since we're still in January, are you planning ahead on what you want to see realized in your life coming December of 2020? Or are you going to wait until December 1st of 2020 hits before you start doing whatever you should have started today, on January 19th of 2020? So you see, This can be applied into your work, into organizations. You see, by focusing too much on the present and not enough on the future, organizations can and will be caught by surprise when troubles or difficulties arise, making the impact of those difficulties even worse because you were not planning ahead for those. Now, I want you to follow with me a little bit in the sense that I know that some people and some organizations, they spend perhaps much more of their time in planning, in building a plan, and then consequently forgetting where they want to get to. The goal, the final goal, the final dream is completely forgotten because all their focus and all their attention is given to the plan. And I heard it so many times. It's good to have a plan, but never take your eyes off the goal by following the plan. Because if the plan doesn't work, then we have to be very adaptable and flexible to make changes in the plan in order to keep arriving at the goal that we had originally. Never replace the goal if the plan that you thought that was going to take you there doesn't work for whatever reason. Never change the goal. Change the plan. Look for another plan to replace it, but keep your mind, keep your eyes on the goal. However, as this quote teaches us, have a plan. Plan ahead for things, but don't have that tightness to the plan, even if you can see it, that is not going to work. Don't be so attached to that plan. No, plan ahead, but maintain a spirit and an attitude of flexibility to the plan. Keep yourself very focused on the goal. Now, another quote that is related to this one is one by Benjamin Franklin. And I love reading quotes and statements by Benjamin Franklin because I love the way that he brings truth into life. I mean, it says, by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. You see, I love that play on words. I love that juxtaposition of words that Benjamin Franklin uses. You see, by failing to prepare, you're automatically preparing to fail. So it's good to have a preparation. Another a quote, I mean, this comes from Leon Megginson. He says, "It is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the ones most responsive to change." I think that this is a beautiful quote as well. I mean, it is not the strongest of the species that survive. So physical stamina even though it is essential and great to have for your overall health, but it is not the strongest of the species that survive. Even if they're strong, they can get into trouble. Nor the most intelligent ones, not the ones that have all the brain power that survive, they can get into trouble also. But it is the ones that are most responsive. And we can change that word, responsive. The ones that are more apt to, adaptable to, flexible to any kind of change that will actually survive. Because if you are adaptable and responsive to change, you are going to find ways to still get to the goal, even if you have to change direction 180 degrees. But that flexibility to change will give you the know-how and the creativity to make the necessary changes to still get to the goal that you wanted to. Another quote, and with this I'm going to end. I don't want to go too much longer. And this one comes from an anonymous source, and it says, "You cannot drive forward while looking in the rear view mirror." You see, have you ever tried to drive on the highway, and instead of looking forward to what's ahead of you, you're looking back constantly in the rear view mirror? What are the likelihood that you will get into a very dangerous accident? Pretty high. You see, if you move forward, your eye should be in the direction that you're going. Now, if you have to go backwards, then don't look forward. Then look in the rear view mirror to see what's behind you. So, once again, let me remind you of that quote that I started this episode with. It wasn't raining when Noah built the ark. Now, what are you doing right now? Are you planning ahead for the rest of the year? At least having a framework of things that you want to really accomplish, and then begin to putting your eyes on those things, and then started to bring it down to perhaps smaller things that you can do in the next few weeks to begin taking you in the direction that you need to go, and doing the things that you need to do, and then getting the resources that you need to get, and talking to the people that you need to talk to, doing all the things that you need to do to get you closer to that goal. Plan ahead. Be a planner. But don't let the plan tie your hands and your feet, and even if the plan doesn't work, then you just keep doing the same things. No. Plan ahead. have a plan, have a structure, have a framework, but don't be so attached to that nothing will change you, or perhaps you will change the final goal, or you will lower the expectations to meet the plan. No, throw that plan away, replace it with a new plan, and keep going in the direction that is going to take you to get to that goal and achieve it. So that was the quote of the week for today. It wasn't raining when Noah built the ark. It's been a pleasure once again to connect with you and to share another quote. I mean, I shared several quotes with you today. I was perhaps a little bit greedy in sharing more, and that's good. That's good when we're greedy to share more than people expect you. Not take more, but give more. And the more that we give, eventually we are going to begin reaping a great harvest. So, thank you very much. Let me just once again remind you that my website, and I put it down here, you can see it, is www.alejandroj, don't forget the J, tornato.com. That's a brand new website, and I would be so happy and thrilled to have all of you to go and browse through the website. There's plenty of great information, courses that I facilitate, and products that I just recently created, and you can read some of my latest blogs. I mean, it's I think that I am so happy. The person, who I worked with, did an excellent job in designing that website. So I'm happy for that. And I just want, before I go, once again, I want to remind you that if you want to contact me, you can do that through my transformational mentoring page. You can do it through my website. Every page has the contact me, so click on that, put your information there, your name, your email address, and tell me how I can help you, how I would be able to help you, help your team, help your group or organization. I would love to go and do a lunch and learn, perhaps a 45 minutes or an hour lunch and learn on a leadership training topic, or personal growth or development topic. To inspire your group to share great content, and I would be very delighted to do that, to help you, whether you want me to do one-on-one coaching with you. if you are struggling in an area of your life and you feel that you are stuck, then I can come alongside with you, and we can definitely, through the power of coaching, and I cannot emphasize as strongly as I would like, the power that is inherent in a coaching, in a one-on-one coaching relationship. I had coaches, I had mentors, and they indeed helped me to move forward. To have a different view, and to change some of the paradigms that I had, and they got me on an unstuck journey moving forward. I'm so happy for them, and if you want me to be that person for you, I mean, please contact me. We can talk about it, and we can see how we can structure it so it would benefit you tremendously. And so that's all I wanted to share with you. Have a great rest of the weekend. And tomorrow, that is a holiday. Enjoy the holiday. And I'll be connecting with you once again for a Transformational Mentoring midweek or Wednesday edition. And I believe that I am going to be talking or sharing with you about a purpose. About purpose. I never get tired of sharing and speaking about purpose, because purpose it's a very, very important topic. It's great when people rediscover or discover for the first time what their purpose is, and it changes your life 180 degrees. So, having said that, as I always remind you, live every moment, be resilient, and also be kind, be passionate, be well.